again, I told you guys this in person. I feel that you guys know more about our dance than we know about ourselves. Like you really analyze this thing, and I honestly want more people just to tune in.
Hello and welcome to another zany episode of Nerdy West Coast Swing, the podcast with pixels where the anchors are out of this world and the points don't matter. We are here to help train your eyes so you can learn faster and dance better. I'm Cassie Winter.
I'm Alicia Marshall. If you're wondering, who are we to be having these guests on with us? Cass and I both have extensive training and experience in both partnered and solo dancing. So today we have on Markus Smith.
Hello, people. Hello, people. I don't know if this has ever been done before, but StuckOnSwing, swing, swing. Little intro.
Nice.
Yeah, I see y'all grooving. Let's groove. We break it down like, hey, oh. Yeah. Swing. Hey.
That's amazing.
Love it. That's a new one.
That is a new one. That's my nervous diffuser. Because I told you this feels like a Jack and Jill, like I'm about to do a Jack and Jill spotlight. So I'm a little nervous. So hopefully that helps.
It's also us here, so
Yeah.
We would love to hear a little bit about how you got started with dancing, got into swing, and maybe a little bit how you kind of worked your way up to champions.
Cool. So not trying to be long, but I guess I don't know if you want it to be long, but I'll just.
It's up to you.
Okay.
We've
I'll just
had
start
like a
from-
30-second answer and we've had like a 2-hour answer. It's
Cool.
whatever you want to do.
So in short, like actually I was never into, like I like to dance, I like music, but I wasn't into like partner dancing. I really didn't know what it was about. My mother, however, she used to do line dancing, and she also did a dance, which is the signature of Washington, D.C., which is D.C. hand dance, D.C.'s form of swing. So she would kind of bring some of the line dances home, and I would actually try some of the line dances. But whenever she asked me to do the partnering, I just assumed that it was just an old school dance, that it was just, you go to these cookouts and you just see older folks just kind of slopping over, just partnering it. And I was about maybe 16, 17, 18 at the time. I wasn't into it. So I was just like, nah, that's not for me. But my mom just kept begging me. She even tried to bribe me and my cousin. My cousin, he's also near my same age. And she said, I'll get you guys the new Air Jordans if you try this class once. And I was like, this reached the all-time high. I said, okay, Mom, you don't have to get me no shoes. I'll do this stupid class so that you can leave me alone. Jeez Louise. What I thought would be a stupid dance changed my life forever. So yeah, like it was my mom getting me involved in my very first hand dance class. And it was actually an initiative to get a lot of the youth dancing at that time. So there were maybe about 30 youth that they wanted to actually bring, to kind of get the dance started. And when I was in there, the first thing that jumped out to me, I was into sports, I was into girls, and I was into video games. No particular order, but that's what I was into. So when I arrived, what do I see? I see the girls. So that was the first thing that kind of lit me up. And then we got to the music side, we got to the dancing, and I realized that, I was able to use some of my athleticism within the dance. And actually on day one, I learned from an instructor named Lawrence Bradford. Many dancers, they may know him by Brad, but he actually gave me the keys very early to this dance. And what I mean by that is that on day one, he showed me the basic, and I tried a variation. I'm doing taps, I'm doing check steps. I'm just trying to be creative on day one. And I asked him, is it okay if I do this? I look over and he says, yes. I said, you sure I can do this? I can move my legs like this? He said, yeah. I said, you sure? He just kept saying, yeah. And at that moment, I think that's when it kind of clicked, like, like I can kind of go, I don't have to just be, I can kind of make it my own. So
yeah,
that was like very eye-opening, and it kind of changed my life, not only just from learning the dance, but it, as I began to progress, it allowed me to know how I should be teaching, not necessarily to have so much of a rules standard when we teach. Like, of course, there are best practices and things of that nature, but it allowed me to be a little more flexible in my teaching. So, yeah, I don't want to be talking too much, but that was my initial. My mom got me involved in hand dance. I became I partnered. I had a partner within hand dance, and we became like the Jordan and Tatiana of the hand dance community. You know, hand dance is basically a dance that's only done in DC, Virginia, and Maryland, so it's very small. And then my instructor, Lawrence Bradford, he gave me this speech about being a big fish in a small pond or a big pond. I can never get this right, but he gave me this riddle, and I didn't understand it at that moment. But what he did was he said, I would like you to dance in this competition, this West Coast Swing competition. And I'm like, West Coast Swing, what is that? So what he does is he showed me, this is the VHS days, aging myself a little bit here. He showed me a video. He showed me a video of, first of all, he showed me a video of Benji and Heidi. This was probably, I don't know if this was Showcase or Classic, but it was Benji and Heidi when they were wearing the blue outfits, I'm going to say. And he showed us a video of Jordan and Tatiana. He said, I want you guys to compete in this world. And first of all, the first thing my eyes was like, yo, first of all, what is this? And second of all, you want us to compete against these guys? They're out of this world. Are you insane? You know, so that's what that was my first reaction. I was like, wow, I had no clue what it was. He said, I don't think you guys can do well in it, you know, and basically it was sort of like the introduction into just doing routines and classic divisions. Because prior we did hand dance routines and it based off of hand dance rules. So we actually did our first hand dance. No, we first did our first classic at North Atlantic Swing Dance Championships, I believe the name was. And let me tell you, we did a hand dance routine, first of all. So we're breaking all types of rules. We're breaking all types of rules. But at the same time, it's something that no one has ever seen before. We hit the floor, and out of all couples, and not trying to toot my own horn, but out of every couple that danced, we had the loudest ovation. It was the loudest everything that anybody can imagine, because they're looking at this. They don't know quite what it is, but they're liking it. And just that whole feeling of like, whoa, you know, just the crowd reaction and just the acceptance of it. Of course, we didn't place as high with that routine, breaking all the rules, but I think we maybe came in 6th or 7th. We had tons of violations. And my instructor, when we went back to the drawing board, we went back to the studio, he said, now what we can do is we can kind of clean up your routine, put some West Coast Swing content in this routine. And basically that's what we did. We kind of changed the routine around. We made, we threw in some whips, some sugar pushes. We threw in a couple of recognizable swing dance moves. And then from that moment on, it was like within the top 5, top 3 even, top 2 even in the classic division. And yeah, it was just insane. Like it was, when I look at all of this, it's like, to me, I know nothing is done as accidental, but it seems like an accident because this is something that I could have never planned. This was not in the cards, you know. So, you know, football, that was in the cards for me. I used to, the way that I had the trophies in dance, I had trophies in football. So that was the main thing for me. But like the dancing thing, this changed my life.
Wow.
So yeah, so Mom Dukes, thank you, Renita.
And we'd love to hear about your music background because you also work in music production, right? And I loved the music video you filmed at TAP for We Up. That was so cool.
That was insane. Shouts out to Meech for pulling it together, Cameo, all of the great dancers who just came and collaborated just for that video. And then in terms of the music, I've always sort of loved music. My dad, he's a singer, he's a drummer as well. He sings and performs at churches. Everything like musically I got from my dad. Like we would sit in the cars and take long trips, and everything that he did, I would try to mimic him. So, you know, my dad was my hero. So if he sang something, he would hit little riffs and hit little runs, and I would imitate him. That led me to joining a choir, getting into the Glee Club. It also led me to joining groups. And actually, like one of my first summer jobs was as a teen was the Prince George's Children's Theater, where we went around and we toured. So this was like not only music, it was music, dancing, and it was acting. So like I was kind of getting skills in all of those areas, and I think all those areas do help out within the dance. But yeah, so that's basically what it was. And then I'm very group orientated. Like I'm big on group, and I think playing football, my mom having me in the youth sports played a huge role in that. So like I'm big on team stuff. So when I had the group, that was easy. When we're doing dance collaborative projects, that's easy. But then the musical side of me being a solo artist, that's the new side of
Oh,
things, right? Like me just being the front. Like I always like, either writing choruses for people or writing and being behind the scenes producing. But now to step into the new, this is me. I'm going to be the face of it. Um, that's basically what I took on, and that's what I named myself in terms of an artist. I call it a new choice. Nuchoyce, new choice. I didn't spell it correctly because that sounded corny to call myself, to me personally. So I
fair.
do a new choice. Let me just, for the people who need to see, don't know if you guys can see this.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so I go by New Choice Music on Instagram and all that jazz. And yeah, basically I like writing songs and then recording them, producing them. I've learned a lot just in terms of being, just actually just learning. Like I learned a lot as opposed to like going to different studios as well. Like I learned there as well, but I actually did a lot of self-learning. The University of YouTube helped me out a lot. So yeah, helped me create a lot of good songs. So We Up is one of those top songs that we made, and we shot the whole video. And I have no clue of how this came together. Like I know how it came together, but when I think of people like Cameo had a spreadsheet. She literally had a spreadsheet of everyone's name, where they're going to be, at what time, the positioning, and to see that spreadsheet, like I just see it's just nothing but organized chaos. But to see it come to life, I'm just like, wow, this is amazing. And just to see the community get together like that, I was just like, I can't ask
Yeah.
for anything greater. This is beautiful. So
That's so
definitely
cool.
want to create more things with that. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's sort of the
Very
musical
cool.
side.
And I'll definitely link the music video in the YouTube cards
Hey,
for those watching in the future.
So tell us maybe a little bit about how you kind of got into champions and how you.
yes, yes. So that is a very interesting one. So like with champions, in at least back when we were dancing, champions was sort of an invite, sort of the way you have invitational. That's sort of how it was. It was like you would get invited to an invitational, and I think also due to the point system with Deanna and I when we competed at that time, because we were placing in classic, it kind of shot us up. It kind of gave us a lot of points over the curb. So it was kind of like a special grandfathering, if you will, with that. Like there was no going through the ranks. It was like
Mhm.
I was there, and that was a very, very, very interesting thing because like definitely the talent, definitely the talent was there, but just the understanding of the West Coast at the very brink of it wasn't quite there. And when I look back at the old tapes, I can definitely see it. It was just like first of all, hand dance is very similar to shag, where it's male dominant or leader, so I say leader dominant. So the leaders are here, the followers are just literally just following. So I came from that background. So when I look at some of the tapes, I see me dancing like I'm at 100 and I'm leaving my partner in the dust, like so. And that was just the style, but I just had to learn. I had to learn the culture of West Coast. I had to learn the technique. I had to learn all of those things, and over time, I'm traveling every week. I'm dancing with people like Sarah. I'm dancing with people like Tatiana. Socially and also in the competitions, dancing with the Brandies. I'm learning, and just over time, I began to, oh, this is what it is. I need to kind of adapt, and it's like it's just been a beautiful journey. Like again, nothing that I asked for, but it just happened. So that's in short. That's a short answer, if that helps.
Perfect. Unless there's anything else you would like to share off the top of your head, I think we can kind of get into going over your video.
I think that's it for me. Like yeah, that's it.
Well, we will then transition into video with Tara Trafser.
So a recent dance. I know it was posted like a week ago. How recently was this event for
That
you?
was literally, so we just got back from Paris. In the week before Paris, we were in Amsterdam, so in Scotland. So yeah, so that was two
Nice.
weeks ago. But
Oh,
yes,
sweet. So
very,
it's
very
super fresh in your memory.
super
That's
fresh.
awesome.
That's insane. You guys pulled that up that fast.
Yeah. So we're gonna put the link in the YouTube cards for people to watch. And then you can come back and we'll get to analyzing. Did you know what kind of music you were gonna get? And then what went through your mind when you knew you drew Tara?
So this was actually a strictly,
Oh,
but it was
sweet.
but it was a last minute Strictly. Yeah, like we didn't know we were gonna dance because they have like Strictly All Stars and Champions, and Tara was educating me on the Strictly All Stars and Champions because I I don't want to get this wrong, but I think what she was saying is that because I think the way that it is now, people think that it's supposed to be a champion dancing with an all-star dancer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when I got to the event, I was trying to see who would I would pair with. Like, is there an all-star dancer that I can pair with? But she was saying that's not the case. It's like champions and all-stars just combined. They don't necessarily have to be paired. Is that your take on it as well, or what did you
Yeah,
guys?
it sounds like
Yeah.
it for Strictly. Yeah.
Okay.
Because at
Yeah,
smaller events, they just combine the All-Star
Yeah.
and champion divisions.
gotcha. Because she was saying somewhere along the lines, it was thought that it was you have to champions must dance with an all-star dancer. So that's why.
Mhm.
So she said, "Well, since that's not the case, would you like to dance?" I was like, "Sure." And Tara is actually she's one of my favorite people to watch in Strictly's and Jack and Jill's because you never know what you're going to get. Like you just never
That's
know
true.
which Tara's going to bring out. And so one thing for sure, depending on the song, of course, you're possibly going to get the comedic Tara.
Mhm.
You're going to get the sensual Tara. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things that I know off the bat, just to kind of be prepared for. So we
Uh,
partnered. We had no clue about the music. They didn't tell us what style or any genre. So we were just up there, and as we're up there, as you see that there was like dead silence for a good maybe like 6 or 7 seconds.
yeah.
Pretty long. Or like that. Like that's the stuff that can allow that. It's like an awkward thing for the audience and things like. So I started doing my little slow.
Yeah.
I said, regardless of this, whatever song they play, I'm just going to allow this to move me in to whatever they play.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, Tara was just chilling, right? And Tara said, "Now," and she timed it perfectly when the DJ played the song. That's why everybody laughed at the beginning. She was just like, "Now," and so she's looking like, "Yeah, I'm hot stuff." I called, and then when she called the song, like we had no clue. Like I didn't know the song when I talked to her afterwards. She didn't even know the song. So what I heard was like the piano keys in a song. Da, da, boom, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4. So I knew that the 1 and 5 was prevalent in the song. So that's why if you see in the beginning, I'm sort of like drawing my hands like a piano and I kind of slide over and I do a movement. At that
Mhm.
moment, since I initiated the movement, I'm waiting to see if Tara initiating. I'm actually hoping that Tara does initiate a
Yeah.
movement. And what she does is she extends on the next one
Mhm.
and I'm like, oh, cool, this is good balance.
Mhm.
Because sometimes when you start off, it's like how you start off can mean the world of how that dance ends as well. So I felt like we were off to a good start just from that. Now if it was a situation where I would have sort of played the thing and Tara did no movement at all, then I would have had to get in my bag and do another movement, which for me could have been a little awkward because it may have been delayed because I'm waiting for something.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, that's the main thing that I remember just from that opening intro. It's like, let's figure
Mhm.
out what this is. We got pianos, sound slow. I'm pretty sure the beat's gonna come in at some point, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, you never know, I guess.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yes, without any further ado, to the screen share. Doodle-doodle-doodle-doo. All right, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Can you sense movement?
Yep.
Excellent.
I see laughter.
Yeah, because she just pointed and been like, now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They actually asked me to sing. I was that's close to singing right before she pressed it, just to kind of sing a little bit, just because it's just so awkward standing around. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, yep. So yeah, that's the response. That's the response. And I was like, oh, cool. This is cool. We're good.
Yeah.
she's
um,
like, she's like, I'm the hot stuff here.
Uh-huh.
Dun, 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 dun. And she responded, boom. I was like, nice, cool. I felt really good about that response right there.
Mhm.
You guys know like the intro songs.
Yeah, like I know a lot of people struggle with doing too much too soon, and
Mm-hmm.
like there's like anxiety around that. Is there
Mm-hmm.
anything in particular you've practiced or done mindset work around to help you not do too much too soon in the beginning of a dance?
Sure, I think mindset work is the best that I can think of right now, and it's something that I don't always remember to do. I think the awkwardness of that beginning allowed for things to come in. But what I mean by that is I normally realize that my best dances come from the moments when I'm having a general conversation with my partner.
Mhm.
It can be something slight, like I don't know, it can be something slight, like if I just look at my partner and just say, all right, let's get it. Or like if I say something to my partner, like then it normally, it really helps to be like a really natural dance. I'm out of my head. I'm not trying to think. I'm like present. I'm right in the moment. So any dancers watching this, if you can like, you don't have to do long conversations, but if it's just something natural, like if you can just say, I'm looking forward to this or something, like just something, whatever comes to your mind, if you can kind of make that conversation happen slightly,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it'll kind of ease things.
Hmm.
If you ever notice yourself trapped inside your head, is there something particular you do to help get yourself out of it?
Yeah, sort of two sides of that. There's moments when you're trapped inside of your head and you know that you're trapped in your head and
Yeah.
you can't even get, it's like you're there because it's like, and I think what it is the pressure of knowing that there's a crowd there.
Yeah.
It's the pressure of knowing that there's an audience to please.
Hmm.
So those are the moments when I feel that like, man, I'm in this thing and I know that there's things that I should be correcting or should be kind of fixing, but wow, we're right here. It's showtime.
Yeah.
So those are the moments. But then the moments that I can kind of that I've noticed that I've gotten out of those is the moments when I just really just relaxed and chilled. When I
Hmm.
actually just relax and get back to the basics, literally, even if it is a basic,
Yeah.
it means the world of difference. Like so that's it's just an ongoing thing that every dancer goes through. But I would say like the way to get out of it is just to literally just relax and chill. Because yes, there is an audience there, but at the same time, you want to have a clean dance. You want it to be great communication, and really for me, those are the best dances actually. Even at the champions level, for me personally, there have been plenty of dances that I've danced and it's like been really chill dances for me, especially when I know like if I'm dancing and if there's a level that I want to take it and maybe like for some reason our partners we're not taking it at this level that I would want to go.
Hmm.
There have been times when I've been comfortable with like just having a chill, communicative dance, and actually that turned out to be like really fun for me, like really like there's no disappointment like oh man I should have put on a show. It's
Yeah.
like those are the dances that I genuinely like find out a lot about myself and the partner. I'm like, man, she's so cool to dance with, like because I just chilled out, I just relaxed. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's so many variables, so yeah.
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 Simple, but not easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, you have so many hours of dancing with Tren under
Yeah,
your belt. In comparison, how much have you danced with Tara in the past?
I think terror is only like a recent thing. Like I can recall us dancing. I want to say it's Swingtacular. I think maybe it was Swingtacular. We did a trio at Swingtacular, and I think one time we did a Jack and Jill, and maybe one other time. But I am not used. Like we don't have like a lot of dancing hours together.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Like I actually don't dance with Tara enough to know like to physically know like
Yeah.
all of the things that she like visually I can like see the way that she likes to play and things like that, but just actually getting in there myself and then
Hmm.
getting in there myself at showtime is like
Yeah.
it's really that's when you're experiencing, that's when you're finding out what's what. So yeah, not a lot of hours with Tara, and that's actually with a lot of the dancers, to be honest.
Oh, really?
But unless there's dancers that have been on the circuit for a good amount of time. But even that, like I'm on the East Coast, they're on the West Coast. Unless I'm traveling event, like we're not like actively like social dancing with each other and
Hmm.
practicing. You know, it's
Yeah.
just normally when we're dancing. For me personally, when I go to events, if I am dancing, there's a time when I will dance where quote unquote like where the in every dance party most of the advanced dancers they dance near the DJ booth. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so like regardless of where you go, and I make it a point at events. I try to make it a point to actually dance the whole perimeter. So like there may be times where I do dance because I do want to dance with fans, all stars, and everybody. But then there are times when I would just kind of go far on the left side, like, and I
Hmm.
just dance the whole perimeter, and then I make my way back. So Out of doing that, I don't get to dance with everyone, so
Right.
that's another part of it as well. So
Yeah. Yeah. I love that higher level dancers go out of their way to try and dance with everyone. I mean,
Mhm.
obviously, for, higher level dancers, it's going to be a lot of times you can be more experimental with
mhm,
other higher level dancers, but, I think that it's really essential to dance with everyone, even if, you can't necessarily skill wise do the same things. You can
mhm.
still be creative with your partner, no matter what level they're at.
Absolutely. All dances, I love all dances, all levels, but especially the newbies, newcomers, novice. I love dancing with them. Like they just like that's the moment that you can really be impressionable upon them, and you can make a huge difference in
Mhm.
how they either stay with the dance or not. How you
Yeah.
treat those dancers. So that's something that we work on even in my local community. And
Hmm.
I'm actually seeing more of the advanced dancers. They're doing what we do. Like they're doing, they
Yeah.
instead of staying right near the DJ booth, what they do is they circle around the room, and it's cool to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
love that. So actually, we're at a spot in this dance that I kind of want to talk about.
Oh,
Sure.
there was one
Ask
earlier
you.
that I wanted to talk about, so it might be
Go right ahead. You
all
can
right.
do yours first.
All right, so I think it was this one. Yeah, because after this inside turn, the way that Tara stops on a dime, but also
Yes.
communicates to you that that's what you want,
Hmm.
because you're so certain that she wanted to stop, and the handhold is just like anchored in space so effectively right here. I'd love to hear about your internal experience of that moment of connection.
Yeah. So I'm giving her a spinning side pass, and this was really cool to see Tara get into what she was going to do, because like at that moment I'm thinking that there's going to be like some type of five. So I'm basically trying to lead it 1, 2, 3, and 4, and so like we would land on a five, and I'm just thinking of either a dead stop or I could have done something else, who knows. But I
Mhm.
felt Tara continuing to move. She continued to move, and she sort of does this like
Violin.
violin. Again, Tara does not know this song. I don't even know if there's a violin played at that part, but it was enough to make the crowd laugh.
Uh-huh.
And it really shouts out to Tara because it wasn't this category, but they also did a Jack and Jill. Yeah, they also did a Jack and Jill this weekend. Not to go too far, but they did a Jack and Jill where it was more so people were really goofing off in the dances. Like they would dance, but they were goofing off and doing stuff.
Uh-huh.
And like goofing off for me is not a strong point. Like I can goof off, but not like I'm just gonna keep it real. I can't do the corny goof off. Like I can't. I'm not good at like I'm not good at like doing anything. Not that she is, but there was some like wild stuff happening in the previous competition. But
I
Mhm.
believe it.
in this one, she had I think she took on the more of the performance side of things,
Hmm.
um, which I like. I really love that she did that, and I took on more of the dance, and I was able to react to her performance style, because she was making me crack up. Like I was loving every bit of it. But that's just another sign of it. Like she was more like engaging with the like putting on the show. I was more of I don't know what this song is. I'm trying to dance with you
Yeah.
and like figure things out. And then if I find those moments, I find those moments. But that's what I was on at that moment. But I'm so grateful that she was doing things like that. Like
Yeah.
it's really cool to see a follower initiate and really do stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is a move that I play with. I don't do it a lot, but it's a move that I play with, and I think it's a move that when I do it with Trend, we actually travel with it. And I'm pretty sure that after people watch this tape, some leaders are going to try to steal that because it's actually a cool move.
Yeah.
So
Very cool move.
yeah, so it's 1, 2, and at that moment, there's like this sort of I'm not really leading a strong posting of things, although I do need my follower to stop. But the
Hmm.
reason that I don't lead a strong post is because the way that I practice it with Trend, and I think I've done it with Trend, where Trend actually moved. If you can imagine traveling and still doing a move, so I wanted to keep that available. And if my partner did bounce out of it, um, I can transition into something else. So that move was, I was able to transition to something else if she moved, but she saw what was going on. She stayed patient. She even began to start the triple step with me in the alternate direction,
Yeah.
which almost made me want to, like, after when looking at the tape, I was like, man, I should have kept that a little longer. She started to triple with me. That was cool. But
You did.
yeah, and then she did something that normally doesn't happen. I think when we finally resolved it, she kind of connected with my back and like, and somehow we did a turn out of it. So we were there. Yeah, she did a turn out of it. Like she took it upon herself to turn. She turned the opposite way of which I would have thought, but it
Yeah.
still worked. It still worked. Like so cool.
How do you usually resolve it when you do it with Trin?
Um, mm, 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 Maybe I would give a turn going towards Trend's left. Maybe I roll Chin to her left, maybe into closed position, or maybe I would roll myself out to the left, like where I would spin away so that we have this connection in open position. Yeah,
Mhm.
so like, yeah, I need to play with that a little more often. I like that move actually.
Yes.
It's
Very cool one.
really awesome. All right. So considering you two haven't danced very much together, doing one foot spin for this long is real impressive.
Very true, because the one foot it spin as many followers they kind of operate on different timings,
Yeah.
Mm.
like which is cool, but it can be difficult. Like, but I think for me is like she's giving me just enough, like in terms of her hand, like right when I place it on 4 and 5, like she's giving me just enough that I can figure it out. Like I almost figure it out like right off on the first one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I also want to add just from Tara's standpoint. So one thing that she does that is really helpful, in my opinion, for follows is that she is going into this like normal,
Hmm.
but she ends up closing her feet and having them both basically on the floor.
Hmm.
Uh, and that's just really good if, you don't feel like you're totally balanced,
Hmm.
or if you, even sometimes if you just don't feel like doing a 1 foot, put
Sure. Sure.
Yep.
But I just wanted to point that out because it's a really good way to still, as a follow, do, what you're being asked, but then you can adjust it so you don't necessarily have to do a full-on 1 foot.
That's cool. I never knew that that's what followers do. And that's why more people should watch this show. There's so much insight on this. Very cool.
I think our 1 foot spin episode is our most popular one
Yeah.
from
Really?
years
Okay.
Yeah,
ago. And when we look at how many views it has, we both get anxious. We're like, don't think about it. Don't think about it.
pretty much. But I mean, it is one of the more complicated things. So,
Absolutely.
Oh, I love this combination that you did here because you go
Mhm.
into a hammer lock, but then you don't, you let go of it
It gets
and
every
continue
it
rotating
follow
her.
you get followers every time. I love doing it. I love doing it, especially with the pros, because each pro give me a different response, even whether it's in comps or if it's social dancing. I remember when I did it with Tori Smith. She was just like, "Oh!" Like she just get this big pop in her face, like "Whoa!" And other pros are just like, "Oh, that's cool!" Like because it's just not the norm. It's just not the norm.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
And it
And then
really
some.
highlights, oh, sorry, you go.
No, you good. Go, go, go.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say it really highlights how the follow is supposed to continue rotating and not
Yeah,
assume that they're going to stop. And that's
absolutely.
why there's that surprise. It's like, oh, you let go of my hand, but oh, that's what you wanted. And it's
Hmm.
just so cool.
Mhm.
And I created distance on the free spin coming out. Normally with the followers, I may continue. And see how Tara has her hand behind her back? Normally I continue with the follow, and some followers keep their hand back there, some followers don't.
Yep.
Um, the followers that keep their hand back there, what I do is I reconnect to that hand and I create something else magical out of that connection.
Mhm.
She kept her hand there, but I backed away from it because I was trying to hit something in the phrase. Um, so yeah, that was man. This girl can dance, bro. She can dance. This girl can.
She can. And I,
Mhm.
I like that you mentioned the arm for the followers because I was actually going to point that out that she does keep it behind her
Mhm.
after you release it
Yep.
because a lot of followers don't do that. I
Nope.
don't know that hammer locks are like super common necessarily.
Hmm.
So I think that, a lot of times the followers will be like, oh, well, you're done with my hand, so I'm gonna drop it. But
Right.
it is generally best to leave it there
Hmm.
just so that you give your lead the option to reconnect, or if they then go into something else, you can then drop it. But you like to give options, so
Absolutely.
always best to
Absolutely.
keep it there.
And the way she transitions out of it at the very end to be like, come here with her
Right.
fingers. So good. And then, Marcus, I just love when you do staccato movements like that, this hook behind, because you're so sharp and intentional with your timing, and like there's no question what you're trying to accent, and I love it so much.
Thank you. That's what I try to preach to all dancers. Not necessarily that it has to be staccato movement, but any movement that they are. Like if they're more of a lighter dancer, like more a ballet dancer, or if they just like more of the acoustic flow, they need
Hmm.
to really live and embody that. So there's no question about who you are as a dancer. So like regardless if this is like this was a song that like we didn't know, but at some point you're gonna get some staccato movement. You're gonna get some of me in there. So
Yeah.
thank you for noticing. Come here.
And it's such a good call and response because you do the hook and then turn, and then she does one.
Yeah.
That girl is so funny. She just gonna spend her all.
Trustful. Did you have something in mind that you were going for here?
um, Not necessarily, but I didn't expect her to turn her back on me. I didn't expect that. So I was like, okay. And then she gave me she started moving her body. And that's another thing that we preach is that a lot of the movements that you want to do the movements on the ands, not necessarily the count of the number. Tara's given me a lot of notice on the and. She's like, and settling into the movement rather than just waiting on 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of just hit me out of nowhere with it. She's like showing me. She's giving me time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's something that I talk a lot about with follows is that if you're going to do something that is not what you're being led into, you want to prep it, like
Hmm.
give your lead some notice. Don't just like drop into splits or something, You need to slowly go into it initially and then continue it. Like
Hmm.
you gotta be on the same page before you you commit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Shouts out to her for trusting me though. Yeah, that double resistance, double compression,
Mhm.
that was cool the way that she did that. I could have led that another way as well.
Mhm.
Like that was pretty fair. Like a part of me almost opened up all the way to the audience, and
Mhm.
then I would have continued the rotation so that she can open up, and then we had that side way. But
Yeah.
I'm perfectly fine with what we had there. She's just anchoring right there from that position with that ball
Mhm.
change.
I was going to say, I just love how much patience you both have for each other throughout this whole dance.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
going to talk about the contrast here a little bit, because a lot of times I think that uh, leads specifically are trying to get their follows to do the exact thing that they want them to do, and then they start kind of freaking out if that doesn't happen.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to point out, you guys are doing different things,
Hmm.
but you kind of then get on the same page at the end.
Yep.
Is
Yep.
there thoughts that you have on that when something like that happens?
No, I was perfectly fine with that. Again, I wasn't really trying to intentionally lead her to do the same exact thing as me. I just wanted her to at least feel the stretch and compression. I wanted her to feel that. And
Hmm.
regardless of what body positions, what angle she had, I was cool with how she did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I do see it. You see the leaders that's trying to force the same movement and you're like, they
Hmm.
freak out if they don't match that. Nah,
Yep.
yeah. Just go with the flow. Go with the flow.
Exactly. No,
Because they're different textures. Like the texture doesn't have to be exact as mine.
hmm Well, and then you're both kind of showing different layers of what's happening in the music.
Hmm.
and also showing kind of the vibes that you personally dance more in, and just the contrast is really interesting visually.
Hmm. Yeah, this is when I'm giving you Marcus right here. You're gonna get that staccato again.
Something that I love how clear it is that you're counterbalancing her
Hmm.
through this part because you're really sinking back into your left foot to be able to counter that redirect, as opposed to like going with her the whole time and then suddenly like whiplashing back in the other direction.
Right. I hope you guys are taking notes, and I hope you guys, not you guys, but I'm talking to the audience that is watching this. You guys all need to subscribe right now. These girls drop gems. How often do you do these? Is it every month, or how often you guys do this?
We try every other week.
Every, oh,
Yeah.
With the
yeah.
holidays were holidays as usual.
Facts,
So we're getting
facts.
back on
Yeah.
it.
Well, everybody subscribe right now. Hit the bell notifications because you're learning. You will learn so much stuff from these videos. Absolutely.
Thank you so much,
We
Marcus.
appreciate it.
Start grooving.
I love how this all ended up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a drive in the music, and I don't necessarily know the song, so I'm not trying to force any continuous accelerations.
Mm-hmm.
Although this is what we see. Normally you see guys like they and try to do continuous turns. I'm
Yeah.
just leading her softly enough for me to know whether or not like she has the momentum for me to even want to do continuous turns,
Yeah.
or if she's cool with just sort of presenting. And that's basically what it was.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything you have in mind when you get the follows kind of going under an arm like this? Because I know a lot of follows, when these kind of things happen, they tend to feel claustrophobic sometimes.
Mm. Yeah, for one, I'm not trying to force anything lead wise. Like I'm not trying to. I'm trying to keep my partner fully balanced. So I'm really trying to like keep her weight over top of herself because she like this is a moment where the followers are tilting, their heads are going down, so they
Mm-hmm.
really need to be up under their center the whole time. I'm making sure that I'm not overly leading in terms of travel wise,
Mm-hmm.
because that can cause a fall or just kind of chaos just down the slat. Those are like the primary things. I'm just like really trying to stay over top of my partner. No difference if I was just trying to give my partner a simple inside roll where they stay over top of themselves. I'm trying to keep it as basic as possible, even if it is sort of advanced, like a continuation of sorts. Yeah, I almost took her that way to the crowd, the other way. Like, although I went almost, because there's something in the music and it was like a big moment.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what made me, I don't know if seeing her hand kind of come out made me want to go there. I don't know what made me. Oh, maybe what it was is because she was still continuing to come back.
Mm.
I think if I would have let her get comfortable and then come back, the timing of that may not have been there. If I would have
Mm-hmm.
led her on the correct timing, she would not have maybe been in a position. So there could have been a little awkwardness in terms of separation. So I think I just allowed her to kind of gather herself, and then we just went that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, a moment like that. So there's like even like those little run up moments, like, and this is every dancers that are watching this. Every dancer, we hate watching ourselves, guys. Like I'm looking at my free hand, I'm looking at how I'm walking her through this. I'm like, Jesus Christ, come on, bro.
Did
Like
you,
free hand, I kind of style it better. Like my core can be a little more upright.
Mm-hmm.
Just this stuff, guys. We don't like watching ourselves either.
Kyle was the worst. He was so hard on himself
Oh, really?
when we had him on.
Yeah. However, like every guest we've had on has done the exact same thing where they're like,
Yeah,
I'm just looking at my blah, blah, blah.
Oh yeah.
because we're all hyper aware of our own,
Hmm.
like the things that we're
Yeah, I
working
could have
on.
did that better.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, you did the important part. You kept her head from colliding with the floor. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
that's the most important part.
I hate my left hand on that one though. Like until the very end, but like the initial come up, like Yeah, I'll work on that.
What would you have preferred?
um, I think I would have preferred a little more, like, because I settled down, right? And then I think as I move, I'm sort of staying in this settled down ishness. I think I would prefer my core and my center up more upright. And I think it would have just helped the leverage of the whole move would look a little better for my taste. Yeah, I think I just stayed under where there's a way that I can maybe move up and then into that move.
Mhm. Drive it forward a little bit more.
Drive it forward. Yeah. And she takes her pants and kind of does that to the crowd. People start laughing again. Again, Tara's like she's being like the comedic person in this. And as I watch this, it's like, man, if I would have took on more of the comedic value, this could have been a first place possibly. Like if I like we placed third,
Mhm.
um, and I think honestly, when I saw all of the dancers dance, I thought Paul Warden definitely was first place. Like when he like so I don't know if you guys have a chance to interview him.
Mhm.
He's up there wearing he went all out with the Scotland
Yeah.
attire. Like yeah, the vest that I have on is I actually bought that in Scotland the previous year.
Like,
Yeah, I actually bought that in Scotland the previous year, and it was an inexpensive store. But
convenient.
yeah, what was my point? What was I talking about just now? Oh yeah. So I think she's really playing with the crowd a lot. And again, for me, I'm dancing more rather than taking on that role. Although I can at times, but when I look back, I said, oh man, maybe I could have done a little more funny things. And I'm just saying that not to say that it's about placing, but those, just in terms of those are different things that can kind of show the results of a thing. Like right now, I'm at the level where like I don't care about points. I don't care about placements or anything. Like just to be honest, like I'm not saying I want to go out and like do a poor job, but I'm just like we're all artists at this point. Like I'm an artist, so that's where I'm in with mines right now. But I know everybody has their own journey. But
Mhm.
it's just little small things that I'm looking at. I'm like, oh man, she's really playing to the crowd. And again, I know for me, I didn't know this song, so I'm playing to the dance first.
I love how she takes this absolutely lovely free arm
Mm.
and then is like, bam, just like pretending to hate you.
And again, I love these moments because right here, this is a lead that I would lead right to sort of my side rib cage. And sometimes when I lead this, followers would connect with that and they may reverse. They may do a reverse spin and they may go off of that. And she posted at that moment.
Mhm.
And that's cool. Like I had no issues. I'm just waiting to see. Yep, I didn't know she was gonna turn. So I didn't, at that moment I'm like, oh, are we grooving? What are we doing? Like I'm seeing her body. So like, yep. And then she did a turn and said, oh, cool, let's go with that. Yeah. Even that ending, I could have played with the crowd a little more in that ending. Just like this right hand could have did a terror and just look out to the crowd. Just off the just having fun part of it.
Yeah.
And believe me, I was having fun, but my version of having fun was genuinely being connected to Tara. Like that was my fun, being connected with her, and it's like that sometimes. I have my moments when I'm really connected to my partner. Not to get off subject, but it is on subject. I remember dancing with Chantel, at I don't know if it was I can't remember the event, but I remember dancing with her, and it was not about the show at all for me. And it
Mhm.
was one of my favorite dances. It was just like, dang, it really felt good. It even looked good when I looked at it on video.
Cool.
Genuine,
I
genuine dances.
I also want to add that what you're talking about, that you're more, wanting to connect with your partner. That is one thing I really appreciate about you as a lead is that you don't necessarily always like concern yourself with, audience, like,
Oh,
and I appreciate that because a lot of times, the advanced leads will feel like they have to
mm-hmm,
present to the audience, but
mm-hmm.
that comes kind of at the detriment of the connection with your partner. So I do really appreciate that about you, is that
Ooh,
what you go to first.
right. definitely. Thank you.
Speaking of, I'm curious if over the last, I don't know, half a year, you've noticed any particular trends while judging across the globe in any particular division, and if you could say something to like try to shift the trend in a different direction, what would it be?
Judges, what the judges are awarding, or just how dancers are dancing?
Oh, just how the dancers are dancing. Yeah.
Okay. I think, and it's just the evolution of the dance, the evolution of the popularity of the dance, the social media era. What it's turning into is it is a lot more showy. It's a lot. I'm seeing a lot more. We know that the video's on, so we're gonna, we're really gonna go there. So I'm noticing that a lot. I'm not saying it happens always, but I am noticing that a lot. Like they know that the camera's on, they got their crew video on it, so like let's make each moment count. I'm not a person to kind of come off and say that there needs to be a change because I think what's going to be is going to be. Like I will let the dance flow the way that it's naturally going to flow. And in terms of what I would want to see more of, I can't even really say that I would want to see like less of that. Like because this is what it is. This is where we are. So I'm just pointing it out to say that I am noticing that it is more showy. I think in terms of a preference, in terms of who I'm dancing with, I do like I like more of a balance. So rather than we just, cake it up for the cameras and stuff like that. So I would like the balance. I'm sure other dancers may like it as well, but so that's one aspect that I'm noticing. It's a lot of cool stuff that's happening with the dance. Like I'm liking where we are going. Like nothing's going to be perfect, but I think the new dancers have a lot to offer. They are learning from us, and I want to encourage them to continue to learn, but also to find themselves as well. That's what I'm really interested to see. Like I see little sprinkles of dancers like coming into their own, but I like to see more of that. I'm able to see more of that, and actually, it's cool to kind of work with dancers of all levels. But it's one of the coolest things is working with all-star dancers who I may have been seeing for years, and they just decided to finally work with me, or for some reason. And it's cool to be able to inspire those dancers and see how they're coming into them to their own. It's like it's just so cool. So and this is on and off the dance floor. Like off the dance floor, it's good to even just have conversation with people, and it can be about dance, and it can not be about dance. So that's one of the things I like about just coming to events and just meeting people in general.
Love that. Well, I think we've covered everything that we wanted to cover, unless there's anything else that you want to talk about. We can kind of.
No, I think this is cool. I'm not going to keep your time up. I just want to thank you guys for asking me to do this. I truly love what you guys are doing. Again, I told you guys this in person. I feel that you guys know more about our dance than we know about ourselves. Like you really analyze this thing, and I honestly want more people to tune in because you're giving great. You have a lot to offer on this channel, and I think hopefully I need to tell the pros about this because do they know? I don't know if they know
Some
about.
of them do, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
some of them do. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this should be like a thing. Like, is this like a Facebook or is this only YouTube?
It's on YouTube. I forget
Okay.
to post things on Facebook.
Okay. No, that's well. Keep it fun. Keep it fun. That's all I would say. And just for dancers in general, whether you are social dancing, whether you're competing, don't take yourself too serious. Like let's just remember why we did this thing, and just have fun with the dance. Like like we travel everywhere, and it's just cool to talk to people. But there's things that happen in each community. There's the levels, and people kind of get ahead of themselves because of their levels. But just remember why you did this, and just be mindful of that. Be able to share with others. Have fun. Just relax and have fun.
Awesome.
Couldn't agree more.
So where can people find you? We already know New Choice on Instagram, but do you
Yes.
and Trent have a website? Share all your things.
That is in construction, but Stuck on Swing. This is a big poster.
Ooh.
Stuck on Swing on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Actually, stuckonswing@gmail.com. If you need to reach us, there are so many things going on. Our traveling schedule is so busy, and I'm just trying to keep up with all the cool things that are happening. So in terms of music, I do music as well for myself and others. There are a couple of Rising Star and Showcase and Classic Routine music that we're working on for other dancers.
Nice.
So that's always cool. So you can reach out to me if you're interested in that. Realistically, if I have time, we'll make it happen. But that's about it. Thank you guys so much. I hope this was cool with you. Definitely
amazing.
glad to
Thank you
make
Thank
so
you for
much.
joining.
cool.